Can you introduce yourself?
Kuzmin Alexey Vladimirovich.
Date of birth?
The year 1988.
City of birth?
Yaroslavl region, Borisogolbsky village.
What street do you live on?
Ustenskaya Street.
Do you voluntarily consent to the recording and publication?
Yes.
Why do you agree?
I know that you are going to post. I know.
Do you want popularity?
No, I don't want popularity.
Why do you want to publish?
To call my parents. To let them know that I was alive and well.
Two questions at once. Why are we asking this question, do you think?
I don't know.
Think if you can think.
No.
If I'm asking permission to record and publish, what does that say?
That it will be posted and it will be seen not only by you, but also by others.
Yes, it also shows that we are in a state of law. And even taking into account the fact that you are an occupier, we must abide by the rules. You have the right to be recorded and the right to not be recorded. Do you understand?
Yes.
We do this so that after the exchange you do not complain later that this video was published without your permission. Do you understand?
Yes.
Then YouTube itself will say that this is a fake complaint. It was the first question. And the second question, why do we need it? Giving you killers a way to contact your relatives?
Don't know.
Let's think. What kind of education?
9 classes.
Why 9 classes? How old are you?
34.
34 years and 9 grades?
Yes.
How does it happen?
I completed 9 classes and did not go further.
Why?
I don't know, I was young and wanted freedom.
Freedom, and finish your studies?
Then the army.
What did you serve?
I served and left in 2007. First I served in the 245th Regiment.
By whom?
Infantry.
Infantry?
Yes.
You have 9 classes, right? Do you have a specialty?
No.
What were you doing until you were 34 years old?
Self-taught.
What did he learn?
Finishing work, security.
Have you been doing repairs? Security is learning to do nothing. I take it you're not a professional security guard. Where is it?
No. Guarded construction sites.
The hovel and do something successfully over the fence at the right time. To get the money normally and at the same time no one knew anything, right?
Vice versa.
Honestly?
We stopped it.
I don't believe that.
It is your right.
My right. Obviously, you don't have to study hard to become a security guard. Repair work?
Apartments.
Please speak louder.
Apartments and offices.
Apartments and offices. Family?
Was married, 2 children.
Why was?
Divorced.
If you like, I wonder why? It's a personal question.
Divorced in character.
Had 2 children and then separated?
It happened.
Help?
Of course.
Were you officially married?
Yes.
Let's try to answer all the same. Why do we need this? This is logical thinking. You can come to this, I think.
How to say it right.
We can swear, speak any words. It is possible in English, if desired.
No, I don't know English.
I know a little bit of German.
Well, sort of.
Then speak Ukrainian already.
I just went. How to put it right, I don't know how to say it. Goodwill gesture or something.
We don't have any goodwill gesture. My eyes would not like to see you.
Agree.
With joy, I would dream that you were not here alone.
I don't have an explanation. I don't know why you would.
If you don't forget, you can ask this question at the end. Will you forget?
No.
If interesting.
If that's interesting.
Ask. Let's see if he forgets or not. I give 90% that he will forget. Practice. When did you receive the summons?
20th.
How was it handed to you?
They came home from the draft board with a summons, signed it. The agenda said what date to come, the 21st.
Did you go straight away with your things?
Yes, they said to come with things.
What did they say? Where are you going? Why are you going?
Where to go, did not say. There is also a training center in our city Yaroslavl. There will already be allocated where, who, in the city of Yaroslavl, in the missile school.
Became a rocket launcher?
No, we were just formed there. There was a former military financial school, the mobilized were collected there.
How long were you there?
A month somewhere.
What did you learn there?
They didn't really teach anything there.
When did you enter the territory of Ukraine?
On the 10th of February we were brought to Ukraine.
Where?
Kremenna and taken to the woods at night, to the battlefield.
Why were you taken to the forest?
In forest plantations, I did not see where they were taking.
What's in the woods?
They took us to the dugout. We stayed there for 6 days.
Shooting?
No, just sitting.
You were just sitting there. Was there food? Was everything okay?
There was little food. There was something.
Did you have dry rations?
Yes, we were given.
How many people?
Dry rations were not shared. There was no such thing as one dry ration for several people, just brought in.
For example, how many people did you have in the dugout?
There were 4 of us.
How many dry rations were there for 6 days?
I don't know, but we ate 2 or 3 porridges there a day.
How many boxes is that?
In the box, like, 3 cereals. Yes, exactly.
1 dry ration for 3 people?
Yeah, that's about right.
And why? 1 dry ration per person per day should be issued.
In theory, yes, but there was little food, there was also little water, just not enough.
Did you drink snow?
They didn't melt the snow, they saved it.
Is the provision bad?
Not that bad. It was hard to bring it up again.
You can bring when they do not shoot.
It is impossible to drive up in the daytime because of shelling.
You didn't shoot.
No, they shot at us, but we didn't shoot. Mortars, not mortars.
Did they or did they not fire on your positions?
I mean, they didn't shoot from machine guns, but they shot at positions.
Someone killed, wounded from yours?
When were we found?
No, in 6 days.
Not from ours.
It's a pity. And from another dugout?
There were others, there was someone wounded.
Someone killed, not killed?
Didn't hear about the dead, but wounded.
Bad, sure, but better than nothing. What happened next?
On the 16th, the assault began.
Who stormed who?
Yours began to advance and our senior gathered us all into one dugout.
How many of you?
9.
9.
Ordered.
Retreat?
Yes.
How's that?
Where to retreat?
Like this? You do not say this word. If everything goes well, you will be exchanged. You are forbidden to use this word. The occupying army cannot retreat.
Leave somehow.
Don't leave. I give you a hint, you attack negatively. You need to use this wording.
We approached one dugout there were 6 of us there.
Are 6 of you in captivity?
Yes, 2 were killed and there were 2 300s.
You were with an officer, as I understand the rank.
No, he was just the oldest.
But as? Platoon leader? Commander?
There were no officers there, just a senior officer was appointed.
The senior was appointed and he says to retreat. Where are you? Far retreated from these positions.
No, we all somehow got lost there. We reached another position, another dugout.
6. I understand.
No, there were 6 more and there were 6 of us, 2 were killed. 8 people.
8 people come to another dugout. What happened there?
We stepped back and got shot at.
Are you an 8 in the dugout?
No, we were sitting behind the dugout.
Behind the dugout, mines fly and grenades. Right?
Yes. Then we were surrounded.
How many people?
10 people.
What did they tell you? That's it, I'm silent, because it turns out I'm talking. And people.
They surrounded us and started shouting that we had to surrender or die. They said we would live if we surrendered, and at that time there were already 2 wounded and 1 seriously wounded. It turns out, 3 300s. 1 was killed immediately, it flew into the head. 1 hit in the chest, but it was later surrendered. The third 300th also died.
Was he killed or did he pass away?
He died, he got hit in the chest and air got into his lungs.
Because you said a minute ago, 5 minutes ago, that 2 people were killed. It was ours who killed them, shot them?
Yes. Anyway, 1 was immediately killed.
They received this during the battle, they were not shot.
There was no firing squad.
And he said they were killed. If I understood correctly, 8 people, 3 wounded, 1 seriously wounded, he died.
Yes.
1 was killed when it hit the head. Wounded, no, dead, that is, 6 people. 6 men were taken prisoner.
Yes.
And 1 is wounded?
No, 2.
2 wounded. If you hadn't put up resistance. I understand that you were shooting. But you shot back anyway, right?
Yes.
Of course, you would also tell me that you didn't shoot. If you had immediately accepted the offer to surrender, it is likely that these men would not have died.
Yes.
What does it say?
Don't know.
Are you alive?
Yes.
They are not alive.
No.
If you accepted the offer to surrender and in doing so, in your words, they might have survived. One might conclude that they are not killed in captivity, at the very least.
Yes.
Do not resist if you are surrounded, we have said this many times already. What did our soldiers say?
When did we go to give up?
Already in captivity.
I don't know.
It's okay to swear.
It's good that we decided to give up, because there were no other options.
Or you would have been shot because you refused.
You would have been killed anyway.
Do you regret captivity?
Of course not. I stayed alive, otherwise I would have been lying there.
What did we say you need to do when you surrender?
Hands behind head.
What were you told? That you can't be captured and you need to blow yourself up?
I wasn't told that.
Strange. Many say that they were instructed. You had 2 grenades.
I didn't have any at all.
Where are the grenades?
They stayed there in the trench, in the dugout.
Did you leave your weapon?
No, the machine gun was in use and I had a rifle with me. They didn't give us grenades.
Did you use grenades?
No, we were sent without grenades.
Why?
I don't know, they gave us 4 magazines, a machine gun, body armor and a helmet.
Helmet Kolpak?
So they threw us.
This is a covered Soviet helmet.
Not iron, but there it is.
Kevlar, say more.
Looks like Kevlar.
Are you an infantryman?
Yes.
Shooter?
Certainly.
What did they say would happen if you don't go to war?
Arrested.
For how long?
Up to 10 years.
Have you read anything?
No.
Why couldn't you check that this is nonsense?
Didn't have time to check it out.
Did they say at home that you, as a mobilized person, would not take part in hostilities?
Yes, we were told that we would be at the border.
Guard the border?
Yes.
In the rear?
Because we will not participate in hostilities.
So you have been deceived?
It turns out like this.
This is good?
Of course not.
How can you? Contact the lieutenant colonel who deceived you.
I don't know who sent us.
Who sent you? Go to the one who deceived you. Would you like to say hello to him?
No.
Why?
You can't change anything anyway.
Maybe others will hear that they are cheating.
Still nothing will change.
Who needs a war?
Don't know. I definitely don't need it.
You are sitting in a cell with people. Did someone there say it was his war?
No.
Are there people who want to fight?
Absolutely not.
Also no. How do you do it? Who sent you here?
Presidential order.
Did you capitalize the president?
How to say it?
The king threw you like meat into a foreign country. Did he say what he was doing it for?
Said he attacked Ukraine to help. Helping Ukraine.
Now in as much detail as possible. Who attacked Ukraine?
Mercenaries or non-mercenaries?
Mercenaries, not mercenaries attacked Ukraine.
So they said.
Who spoke?
On TV.
What channels do you watch?
Russian.
Russia won?
Russia, NTV.
TV star. There is victory everywhere. Is everything going according to plan?
Yes.
According to plan?
I don't know yet, I don't know their plans.
Judging by the fact that you're a prisoner, it's probably not a good plan.
Maybe.
Why do you have people deceived?
I think they cheat everywhere.
Are you talking about us?
No, it's not really about you.
Why did you say that?
In any country, someone is always being cheated.
Have you seen the mercenaries?
No.
Who did you see?
Only Ukrainians.
It turns out you were cheated.
It turns out.
Deceived by the fact that here are mercenaries, and here are our people, soldiers defending their land. Right?
Yes.
You were not supposed to be on the front line and fight. They cheated, yes. Somehow it turns out that everything is built on deception. You do not know the idea of war, because you were initially deceived.
No.
When should the war end?
Don't know.
Do our soldiers know?
Probably not.
Come on. Do you know this word?
How?
Come on is an English word.
A mission or something?
Come here, come on. What does it mean ours do not know when the victory? Look, there are your soldiers, there are our soldiers. This is our country. Our soldiers are here. You came running and captured a piece of our country. Here is a piece. Ours are here. What are ours doing?
They're taking it back.
They win back you, invaders, murderers. Yours climb all the same, ours again win back. The question is again, when do you win?
Don't know.
The commanders had to say. What will you go home after? Do this, this and this.
That's something I've never heard anyone say.
When were you supposed to go home?
We were told that 6 months would pass and we would go on vacation. After the vacation we go back again. That's what they said, but when and what?
Fine.
And when it would be over, no one said.
Funny motivation. Do our soldiers know when the finish line is?
Don't know.
When you are killed and our territory is liberated. We have an understanding that you are occupiers, like the Germans, came into the Second World War. Seize our lands, kill our people, destroy cities. Our position is clear, any citizen of Ukraine knows when the war will end. Do you know when?
No.
When we kill you all. When Putin surrenders, capitulates. And you will pay 70 or 50 years of reparations. Do you know this word?
No.
We're having a tough conversation, because it's a tough conversation. I see, it's all understandable that it's incomprehensible. Do you have any ideological motives for fighting?
No.
Like, for the Russian world.
I don't need a war at all.
If you didn't need it, I wouldn't be seeing you in captivity right now. Wouldn't you agree?
Also agree.
Did you have rejectionists?
Don't know.
You didn't see, but you could be the first. Then you wouldn't be in captivity. What did these two soldiers die for? One who had his head blown off, the other who got hit in the chest.
I don't know.
What did you go for?
They went for Russia, then.
For Russia? Did you go for Russia too?
I was mobilized and I went.
Is it possible to win if the motivation is death or prison?
Don't know.
Let's not torture you any further. We're having a conversation with unequivocal answers. I know, I don't know, I've seen, I haven't seen, war, not war. I think this will be the most boring conversation. Let's call your mom.
Hello.
Hello.
Sonny.
I am not a son.
Sorry.
My name is Dmitry, I am a journalist from Ukraine. Your son is in captivity, will you talk to him?
Yes, I want to talk. Please do.
I need your consent to record and publish this conversation.
What information? Year of birth?
No, I need your consent. Consent to the recording and publication of your conversation with your son.
I don't get it.
She doesn't understand. She doesn't understand words.
You'll talk to your son, and I'll write it down and publish it later. Do you agree to the condition, yes or no?
Okay.
Okay. You don't tell me where you are.
Hello.
My Maxim.
I'm doing fine.
Thank God. We are waiting for you. How nice to see you here.
I'll be home soon.
We are trying to take you home. I love you very much.
It's okay, it's all good, alive and well. They're treating me just fine.
What?
Alive and well, they treat me normally, they feed me.
The most important. Thanks to them for being nice. Thank you. Thanks to them, if only they did not offend you.
Didn't anyone call you, say anything?
What?
No one called or said anything.
No.
I see.
About the exchange?
Yes. Well, in general?
In general, I went to the military registration and enlistment office, they said to wait. He says he checks everything.
I see. It's all right, don't worry.
In the east there?
We're not allowed to say that.
Well, yes, you can't say, right, don't do that, my joy. The main thing is that you are alive and well. And they don't hurt you. Thank you for not hurting you. Hold on, my joy.
Everything is fine. Okay, bye.
Wait.
Now wait.
Holding on?
Yeah, wait, don't throw it off.
May I ask you a question? Why did your son come to kill us?
He is not himself, he was sent a summons. He is a conscript.
I didn't ask how he got here. I asked why?
For what? We do not know.
If your little blood was killed, like his two comrades, what would you say to yourself? Why did your son die? No one knows where, in a foreign country.
That the war killed.
War? Who started this war?
Not us. Not me, obviously.
You mean, not you? You.
We lived a quiet, peaceful life.
You started this war, I'm telling you this. Your president is your king, you are slaves, he decided to go to war in Ukraine. Did he send 150,000 men here who have already been killed, or am I not telling the truth? You chose your king, for whom did you vote?
Of course they did, at the elections, of course they did.
And what did you do better? I see you have a good repair, you live well. Do you have gas?
We have nothing.
Don't have gas?
I've lived in this apartment for 40 years. The house is in disrepair.
Why doesn't your czar think of his peasants and slaves? The king can't repair your house and is driving your sons to slaughter.
I can't say anything. We are little people, bugs, what else can I say?
You can tell the truth, little bugs.
I hope for the best.
I take it you don't care that your son is a prisoner, that he might have been killed. The explanation for everything, the king wanted it, right?
No, I don't want him to die, I want him to come home.
Why do you need it?
No, I won't let him go anywhere else.
What will you do? They will send him away a second time.
Not anymore.
What will you do?
He won't go again.
They come and take him away and that's it. It's not the first time, he's not the first to be taken away.
And what, back to war?
Going to war again, dying again, 150,000 Ivans have already been killed by our military. How many of your children need to be killed before you get anything to get out of your emergency houses?
Let's get out.
No, I'm asking how many people like him have to be killed before your head starts to work.
I don't want death. I want everyone to live.
You want to. What have you done for it?
I won't let him go anywhere when he gets home.
Say goodbye.
Goodbye, Mom.
Son, hold on my dear.
Yes, come on.
With God, I love you very much.
Yeah, me too.
How many have to die here before you realize you're not welcome here?
I don't know the answer to the question. It is not up to us.
Because you, like cattle, are sent here under threat of imprisonment. And what awaits you in prison?
I don't know.
Wagner is waiting for you in jail and at the front again. Only as meat in general.
It's voluntary there.
So you'll go voluntarily because you'll have 10 years in prison. And you're going to want to try to solve this issue in 6 months.
I know what's going on here. I'd rather sit there for 10 years.
What's going on here?
There's not much good.
Not enough of a good thing? There is nothing good, not a little. According to tradition, POWs can turn to their own countrymen. If he wants to. Do not want? This is the logical answer. Are there any questions for me?
Which was the first question? Why do you need all this?
Didn't come up with an answer, but you want to know the truth? With these interviews, we show all your inferiority. What is inferiority?
I know.
What does it mean?
Like infirmity.
Weakness, but that's not it. Not at all. You are slaves. You go where your king sends you. You don't have the education and intelligence to answer the question, is someone like you beneficial to your king? You don't have an education. Everything is built on the absence of thinking. A slave, coming home from an unintelligent job, has to watch Skabe Ava, Kiselyov, whoever else, Solovyov. This is how they load noodles on their ears and tell you there that we have Ukrainians, mercenaries. What business is it of yours what we have going on? This is what we show with our conversations. They'll look at everything and say 36 years old, 34 years old, no education, mom is a pensioner, lives in a communal apartment. It can be seen that you are very convenient for your rulers of the kings and you are fighting here for their yachts, steamships and houses. And their children don't fight, they don't sit in the trenches. Prigozhin with the Wagner Group and one machine gun for 10 of you are waiting for you in prison. There are people sitting in the cell, you can ask them how many guns they had. Are you satisfied with the answer?
Yeah.
And we show that you are alive, so that your mother won't do anything, to make a fuss. So they can try to take you away, to put you on some kind of list and show that you're really alive. That's what we're doing it for. Any other questions?
No.
Are you satisfied that you were able to call?
Yes.
Did you get an answer?
Yes.
Is that a bad answer?
Normal.
Is he unpleasant?
Unpleasant.
Is there anything untrue in my answer? If I am wrong or incorrect, correct me. I will apologize.
No.
Makes sense?
Yes.
Because educated officers don't know why you're here either. That's the story.